10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello everyone, welcome to Andy Decodes the 12th Dimension. Hello to everyone on YouTube, hello to everyone who's going to be listening on podcast. Sorry, voice went then. Everyone who's going to be listening on the podcast. Today I'm joined with BMR, Bigfoot, Michigan Rob. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Andy. It's a pleasure, man. Pleasure to be here.
It's absolutely awesome to have you on. So a quick thing of who you work with. So Rob you work with, is it Jason?
Yeah, we have I work with my channel is simply Bigfoot Michigan Rob channel, and I work with Tex. He's my sidekick. Jason, we do like 5-6 shows a week also on Texas from Porch, and I have my channel, so we're a big we're kind of a family, big community, right? So I work with Tex, Jason, Jessica Jones, Danielle Diva. So Barry. I've got a lot of friends in the community, and we all collaborate on a lot of things. So and
you have a good laugh doing it as well.
I have a good laugh, good light. It's fun. We always have a good time. We talk about serious topics, but we also we like to have a good time. We don't take everything too serious. I mean, we take the subject matter seriously. But if you can't have fun what you're doing, why bother doing it?
It's too robotic, too plain. Boring.
If you have a show on YouTube, if you're boring, people are not going to watch you.
No.
You know how that goes. I see people on YouTube all the time say, "Man, unfortunately, the show's boring. See you later." But mine's definitely not boring. Mine's not. But we keep you in stitches. But we keep it real.
Yeah, as long as when people are asking questions, you're going into the deep dark aspects of it all. Then that's when you're serious. But you can still have a laugh whilst being serious. And I think that makes a massive difference to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, on like my show, I've done like 125 shows. I've had 125 guests over the last couple of years. Yeah. And they're on Bigfoot Michigan Rob channel. There's a lot of Bigfoot researchers, a lot of people that experience Bigfoot, Dogman, all sorts of cryptids. But we also are expanding into the paranormal, aliens, time travel. So we've got a lot of everything for everybody. A couple people you mentioned, Jessica Jones, remote viewing, Barry Littleton, man. Barry's amazing with time travel and alien abduction. Barry was abducted by an alien.
Yeah, well, like I said before we come on, Barry's back on Wednesday.
Yeah, I love Barry. Barry's been on my show several times.
Yeah, I'm going to be pressing him about his abduction cases.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Jessica Jones, I don't know, you can't see it; it's in the corner. She did did a remote viewing for me.
Yeah, she's actually.
And
I've known.
Wow.
I've known Jessica for a couple of years now, and there's this case that I received that I put on my YouTube channel. I did part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
And it's called Dogman Island. It's a video. See, I do live shows, but I also have people as my subscribers to my channel. They send in encounter stories, or people email me stuff. So I got an interesting case sent to me, and I named it Dogman Island, about this dog man on this island, which is like 40 minutes from me. So it's very popular videos. And so I'm getting with Jessica, and she's going to remote view that. And we're going to have a show about that dog. So I'm looking forward to that. They'll probably be released in a month or so once she gets done. Because, Jessica's pretty busy herself.
She's does about 100 shows a week.
Yeah, like I said, I'm on. Else? Well, let's see. I have my 2 shows. I've got a show on Tuesday night at 9:00 Eastern in the United States, Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
Then I've got a show Thursday afternoon, 1:00 Eastern Standard Time. They're called Beyond BMR and Brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Then Monday, I'm on Texas Front Porch. Wednesday is Jason McLean Questions Everything. Friday night is the Blondes, the Booze, and the Woo. So I'm on. You can see my pretty face 5 days a week usually.
No getting away from you.
No. And then I put out my videos with my encounter stories from my. What
more could anyone want?
Oh yeah, I'm on. In fact, after this show, when we get done here, I gotta go get my niece. Then I gotta release my new Dogman encounter story, which will come out later on tonight for everybody to check out. So yeah. So and I'm trying to break into the UK market, and my channel. If you guys want to subscribe, it's Bigfoot Michigan Rob, and I appreciate all you guys. I got 2% of the UK market, so we want to bump that up a little bit.
Well, you're a member of my Facebook group, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, and you post stuff on there.
I post my videos on there. Yeah, I post. Yeah. Thanks for allowing me to do that, by the way. Not everybody lets you. Trust me.
No, at first I was like, do I let people? Do I not let them? I was doing like no promotion, no spamming and all that. Then I thought, how are people going to find out what's going on if no one's allowing anyone to post stuff on their groups?
I find it defeats the purpose. You have a group. Yeah. I have a Facebook group too. And so I'm a member of your group, but you won't allow me to post my video. So why am I even here? And you said spam. I told this guy, one guy had told me, Andy, how come you're spamming all your stuff to my Facebook group? And I took insult to that. I said, dude, that's kind of insulting. First of all, you invited me to your group because I provide something. So I'm sending you a video. Spam to me is like stupid advertising and just junk mail. Like you get your email junk folder. I'm providing quality content, man, for your people.
Exactly. See, to me, spamming, it's like, what number can you see in this? The first person gets it right and they tag like 200 people in it. That's spamming.
Yeah.
This is of interest. It's completely different.
Yeah. If I was to put a video about cooking on a paranormal Facebook group, well, that's spam.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see that if you're
it's nothing to do with what.
Nothing to do with your
the group or anything. So.
Yeah, but now I like cooking shows, by the way. But there's a place for everything. There's a place for cryptids and the paranormal. There's a place for everything else.
Yeah, you're not going to put a video of Bigfoot on a cooking channel, are you? Unless a Bigfoot's cooking.
Yeah, which would be interesting. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I guess I have to give a quick shout out to my UK stalker, JoJo. I see she changed her name to BMR Stalker. Hi, JoJo.
Yes. She'll be impressed that you spoke to her live.
Yeah, there you go. Well, she watches all my shows. She's one of my loyal supporters in the UK, so I love her. She's a good girl.
Yeah, she does my She does a lot of research for me as well, and she does the moderating on here, so she does help out quite a lot. And then Nickname does a lot of helping me get guests on, and she does modding as well when Joe's too busy not doing it, basically.
Yeah, there you go.
But that's it. So anyway, Bigfoot Michigan Rob.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the name says what it doesn't on the tin.
Yeah, well, you know what? I got to tell you guys, Bigfoot Michigan Rob just came out of nowhere because I had no intention of starting a YouTube channel at all, right?
Right.
And that's probably would not have been my first selection. In fact, after the last couple of years, I was thinking about changing the name, but people were in an uproar. Rob, no, you got to keep that. That we think it's cool. But the reason, Andy, why my channel is called Bigfoot Michigan Rob is this. In 2018, I had a Bigfoot encounter. I was fishing with my girlfriend. So before I get into the story, it was like, man, Rob, you got to tell that story on YouTube to people. I said, YouTube, man, there's shows on YouTube.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. I said, man, I only use YouTube, to be honest with you, back in the day. I used it for like to watch live rock concerts, or I would go back in the day and pick up a band, and I used it primarily for music. I didn't use YouTube to how to fix a flat tire, how to cook chicken parmesan, how to make a pizza. I just used it for music. I had no idea that you could do all these things.
Yep.
So now I made my first video end of 2018, did not have a channel. I just wanted to make this video because my experience that I had was very traumatic.
Yeah.
And people said, man, you got to express yourself and get that out there. So I said, well, hell, then I find out, well, I got to make a handle on YouTube. So I said, well, my name's Rob. I live in the state of Michigan. I saw Bigfoot. So I just made Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Boom. You know, which
and
is,
them handles are hard to find.
Yeah.
If you're getting some normal, you've got to think outside the box to get some.
Yeah. And, and I'll be honest with you, I've tried to make a different channel for things. And a lot of times this one's been taken, or it's too similar. It's too similar to another one. So Bigfoot Mr. Rob fits perfect. And that kind of evolved into BMR, which is a shorter version. So it worked out for me. It works out. People love it. So I'm not changing it now. So I've had the channel up for 2 years now. So
yeah, I've changed mine about 5 times. Never changing it again.
Well, I noticed you changed your Facebook group.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, the thing is, because everything's Andy Decodes now. Sorry to jump on your platform, but so I want to keep it unison throughout. So it's just the same.
No, and I agree. Same with Bigfoot Mr. Rob. It's unison. You can go on Bigfoot Mr. Rob. You're not always just going to find Bigfoot. You're going to find aliens, UFOs. Like I said, time travel. We added a true crime channel, a true crime network to everything.
Joe was saying.
Yeah, so that's with Tex and Danielle Diva. They do Infamous Minds. That's on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern in the United States. And they dive into serial killers. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. we got a variety. If you like weird strangeness, you found the right channel.
There you go. Yeah. So those that are in my Facebook group, if you can't find it, just go on there. You probably post 2-3 times a week. You don't post that often, though, do you?
No. Well, I do. Well, actually, I'll be honest with you. I post, and what I do is I do say this: if somebody has a show going on during the time of my show, I give them courtesy, and I don't post it until your show's done. So I post a replay. So I post my Tuesday night shows after the show's over, so you can watch it anytime. Then I post the Thursday night show, and then I post my Friday encounter story. So I post 3 times a week. That's it.
Yeah. I knew it wasn't a lot.
No, it's not every day. It's 3 times. I post Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and that's it. Like after this show, after I get my niece, I'll do my other video. I'll post that tonight, and then I'll be done for the weekend.
Right. Yeah.
And here in the States, it's the NFL draft with my Detroit Lions. So yesterday was the first night of the draft. So later on tonight, I'll be watching the draft. So my weekend's all starting off to a nice. That's a nice start. And again, I'm glad to be on the show.
No, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right. So
So
do you want to hit us with some Bigfoot?
yeah, let's hit you with this. So you guys all know how I started the channel.
Yes.
So here's how, and this is how I got into it. And it was back in June 15th of 2018. I went to surprise my girlfriend Cindy. I wanted to take her fishing to Lake Cadillac, which is north of where I live. It's about a 3.5, 4 hour ride.
Yeah.
Cindy, not much of an outdoors girl, and I am an outdoorsman, so I kind of wanted to at least, strike up some commonality in that area. So I said, "Hey, honey, let's just go fishing." So I rented a cottage. I rented a small little fishing boat at Lake Cadillac in Michigan, and we took off for the weekend.
Yeah.
So we arrived to Lake Cadillac, check into our little cabin cottage, got the rental boat, and off we proceeded. So we get on Lake Cadillac. Now, Lake Cadillac is a very big lake. It's surrounded by a lot of beautiful homes, a lot of small businesses. So it's built up, yet it's very big. And this entire area is surrounded by the Manistee National Forest.
Yeah.
So after about an hour into fishing on Lake Cadillac, I can tell that Cindy's getting bored because, we're not catching anything. We're not even getting a nibble. And she says to me, "Rob, this is really boring." So I'm okay, let's go do some exploring on the lake. So we're tooling around on this small little craft. Then we come up to this canal. So I zip through the canal. Now it connects to another lake. It's another big lake. It's called Lake Mitchell. Now, Lake Mitchell, again, it's big. Again, it's a big lake. And it's surrounded by the Manistee National Forest, but it's less built up around it. There's not as many homes and businesses, so it's a little more secluded. So we're driving the boat, and I went like southwest, and I found this cove off of Lake Mitchell, and we set up shop there. So I'm about 90 feet from shore. So I start to adjust Cindy's fishing tackle and mine.
Yeah.
So I'm looking down. So she's standing up on the boat, and I'm looking down with the rod and the reel in my hand, and I'm putting on the bait, the lures, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so Cindy says to me, "Hey, Rob, I think someone's throwing rocks at the boat." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" I look up. I said, "I don't see anybody on shore." Now you got to picture this. It backs up to the forest.
Yeah.
The forest really, the wood line drops right off into the lake. There's not a lot of places where you could set up shop and have a picnic. I mean, there's some areas where you could stand around, but I didn't see anybody. And I said, "Hey, Cindy, there's nobody there." So I just blew her off, basically. So I started fixing again our tackle, our bait. Second time, Cindy says, "Rob," and she's a little more demonstrative. She says, "Rob, there's someone throwing rocks at the boat. I just seen a rock hit the water about 5 feet in front of us."
Yeah.
I kind of looked ashore. I said, "Cindy, there's nobody there. Could you please, let me put our rod and reel together, and then I can join you and see what's going on." So she's kind of ticked off at me because I don't believe her.
Yeah.
So I continue about my business. Now, Andy, for whatever reason, I happen to look up into the air.
Yeah.
And I see some object falling, out of the sky. Beautiful day, man. It was a high sun, bright blue sky.
Yeah.
Just a perfect day. There's nobody around us. We're in a secluded part of the lake. But I see this object fall. I'm trying to make it out. And sure enough, man, about 3.5, 4 feet in front of us, I see this rock about the size of a baseball kerplunk right in front of us. So I feel kind of bad for not believing Cindy. So I look to Cindy to apologize, and she is now as I made mention, it's June 15th. She had a very nice suntan going, and she's not a big woman, 5'2", about 109 pounds. She had a
Yeah.
great tan, but her whole body, man, was white, and she's staring at the shoreline. And I go, what the hell is she looking at? What's scaring her? I look ashore and I see this creature. It's standing there at the shoreline. It's about 9 feet tall. It's got a reddish brown, shaggy long hair. It's got a gray chest and a gray face. And the thing about this face, it looked like a human, like a humanoid, but it looked like a person. And I don't mean to offend anybody. I always tell this. It looked like a person with Down syndrome. It just did not look quite right. Frankly, looked kind of creepy. It looked like a human being, but not quite a human being. So I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, what in the hell is this? At the time, it had its arms on its side. Then all of a sudden, Andy, it raises its arms parallel to the lake. And again, we're 90 feet away. I can see this thing is perfect. Then all of a sudden, man, that humanoid Down syndrome looking person, creature, whatever you want to call it, its jaw drops like 6 or 8 inches. It rolls its eyes back in. That gray skin was kind of wrinkled and weird looking. It got really tight and taut. And then it leans back. And as it drops its jaw, you can see like 2 teeth on the bottom and like 2 teeth on top. The teeth on top kind of look like a German Shepherd's teeth, but a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And the 2 bottom ones were like incisors. They're really narrow coming up. And all of a sudden, without moving it, and it dropped its jaw. Now, Andy, when it drops the jaw, you could fit a bowling ball in it, man. That's how gaping this was. And it turned from what I explained to look like the humanoid. It looked like, frankly, a demon. It looked like if you were in Africa and those tribes where those kabuki masks, it was really scary. I mean, it transformed from a human to a devil, man. That's how I always explain this story. And when it dropped the jaw, it let out a roar, a scream, and a yell, all in unison, directed right at me and Cindy on the boat.
Yeah.
Now, this thing, you could feel the reverberation hit my body. I could feel it hit me.
In the
Cindy,
bones.
yeah, I felt it. And I know it. And Cindy, as I mentioned earlier, not a very big woman. She falls off of the boat and flips into the water. And this thing is just roaring. And now I know that I got to go to the right to get her into the boat, man. So, but I'm paralyzed now. I can't move to my right. And now, as I may explain, the blue of the sky, the reddish brown creature, the green forest, I'm now seeing like through a filter where it looked almost black and white. I mean, the colors dulled, man. And it felt like I was in slow motion, but I cannot move to the right. I'm paralyzed. So I start shaking my head. I snap out of it. And then finally I regain proper vision. I get her back. I pick her up. I get her, help her into the boat.
Yeah.
And now I immediately look to the shoreline for this thing. But what was really scary, man, it was scary enough getting hit with that sound wave, that blast of whatever it was. This thing is now gone. And I'm like, holy crap, where did it go? Is it swimming? I mean, I don't have no idea what this is. Is it underwater trying to get us? So I sped the boat around and I fleed across, Lake Mitchell. I went back through that canal, back onto Lake Cadillac, and I beelined all the way to where I launched the boat, get to the dock, excuse me. And this man and Cindy, me and Cindy are like shaking. She is shivering. It's like 80-degree day. She is cold. She is just clammy. I put a blanket around her, get her up, get her out of the boat, and I immediately, man, start looking for the closest bar, right? Or pub, right?
Yeah.
And we got to calm down. So I find this little corner bar, and thankfully there was not a lot of people in there. It was actually right around lunchtime, in fact, but there's like 2 or 3 people in. So we go back to the corner of the bar. We sit down. We're across from each other. The barmaid comes up and asks us what we're having. Now, Cindy, not a drinker at all. I never seen her drink a drop of alcohol in her life. She orders a bottle of Bud Light. She gets a shot of Jack Daniels. And I turned to the barmaid. I said, "Yeah, I'll have the same, but make mine a double."
Yeah.
Barmaid comes back. Cindy, I have yet to speak with each other. We're waiting for our drinks. Cindy comes back. She throws that shot down like she's been drinking for 20 years, polishes it down with the Bud Light. I do the same.
Yeah.
And Cindy finally says, "Honey, what do you think that was?" I said, "Honey, I don't really know. I'm trying to process this. What do you think it
Yeah.
was?" And she says, now, mind you, she and I never spoke about Bigfoot or cryptids or anything. She goes, "I think it might have been maybe that Bigfoot creature." I'm
Yeah.
like, "You know what, Cindy, I think maybe it was." So then she says, should we go report it to the authorities, the DNR, blah, blah, blah. I
Yeah.
says, "No, I don't think they would believe this story, you know."
No.
She's like, "Yeah." So when it kind of ruined the weekend, so we did not finish our weekend out. In fact, we got our senses together. We packed up the truck and we headed back home. So as soon as we get home, we um we immerse ourselves on the internet. We're looking up, trying to find pictures of what we saw. Now we're typing in Bigfoot. Then we started looking up YouTube videos and
Yeah.
really couldn't find anything that kind of looked like this. And a lot of videos that I saw were just kind of, I didn't know that I believed it or not or whatever. So we just started investigating Bigfoot now.
Yeah.
So, but we're both kind of like, we're really, I got to tell you, man, we were in shock. So now this happened June 15th of 2018. So the same year in 2018, in August 15th, my girlfriend Cindy died.
Oh shit.
She passed away. Then my world turned upside down because now I'm thinking that when we got hit with that shock, as I
Yeah.
said, she's a small girl. I'm now thinking that her insides got messed up, right? Like they got
Yeah.
shaken up. I went to her mom. Her mom had called me and gave me the bad news. But see, Cindy's mom and I never got along. She didn't like me because I owned a bar at the time, and she wasn't into that. She's very anti-bar establishment. So
Yeah.
whatever. It's your opinion. It's your belief. I get it. So I guess a week or two later, the doctor says she died of a heart attack on all this. And I'm like, there's
Oh.
no way in hell she died of a heart attack. Healthy woman, don't drink, don't smoke. So for the
Yeah.
longest time, I blamed it on Bigfoot. I believed it on this creature. I think it had something to do with it. In fact, I was
Yeah.
so pissed off that I was going to get a bunch of buddies and go back with a bunch of weapons, man. I want to go tear that forest up and kill this thing.
Yeah.
Of course, I did
No,
not.
imagine.
I did not,
Yeah.
of course. Then I started having nightmares and PTSD. In fact, it got so bad that, as I said, I owned a bar at the time, and I went to my
Yeah.
manager and I says, "Hey, man, I'm not going to be back for a while. Here's the keys to the place. Don't rip me off. Take the money, put it in the bank. I'm back when I'm back."
Yeah.
It took me 6 months before I went back to work.
Wow.
And I was trying to find answers, Andy, and everyone listening, man. I didn't get no answers. I couldn't believe or trust nobody. I felt alone. I went in a dark area, dark space.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I felt like I was by myself and alone. And then I ran into a couple people finally that I could trust. One guy is Duke Sullivan from World Bigfoot Radio.
Right.
He told me, "Rob, you're not going crazy. You saw something, man. You saw like a Bigfoot, man." So I started investigating Bigfoot more and more, and got with a bunch of people that I could trust. And then I've been doing this ever since, man. I'm in search of answers. Now today, you know, God rest Cindy's soul. I mean, I don't have PTSD. I don't have nightmares. I've been helped quite a bit with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And, it's sad. She's been gone now 5 years, and I miss her. But,
Yeah.
you got to move forward, right? But you
Yeah.
see, for me starting the channel and for me talking about this, it's good therapy. And really, I'll tell you right now, the honest to God truth, the reason I started my channel
Yeah.
is to reach out to people that have had experiences like mine that had nowhere to go, right? So I can
Yeah.
help you, because I can tell you it's the loneliest feeling in the world to have nowhere to go when you had
Yeah.
experienced something like that. So really, the Bigfoot Mystery Rob channel was formed to help people. Now, of course, we interview people. I
Yeah.
talk to experiencers or witnesses, and yeah, and it's become a pretty cool project. I enjoyed the hell out of it. But it all started because of a traumatic encounter, which was life changing for me.
Oh
And that's
yeah.
how I got started in all this.
Wow. That that is some story. So sorry for your loss.
Yeah, thank you. I always hate telling the story, but I always feel good when I tell it because people need to
Yeah.
hear it. And, like I said, even to this day, I feel good talking about it.
Yeah.
And I talk about it. I tell this story. I've probably told it 1,000 times already. I've been on a whole bunch of
Yeah.
different shows, podcasts that want to hear it. And
Yeah.
so I probably tell it once a month. So,
Yeah. I have heard you tell it before on one of the other shows, so I knew what you was
okay.
going to say. But it's still, so when you're sat here and you're talking to me and the people in the chat, it's different than just watching it or watching it back. Do you know what I mean? And really do appreciate you
Yeah,
sharing
no,
that.
and again, I used to say, well, everyone's heard my excuse me, everyone's heard this story. They're probably bored with it. But how many people tell me, Rob, we're never bored with it. And what's cool about being on your show is the fact that this is the UK, and a lot of people might not, probably most of your people don't
Oh,
know me.
no.
So now they kind of know that story, how I formulated the channel and stuff. So yeah, I was told by Duke and a couple others, Rob, you're doing people a disservice if you don't tell your story.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I kind of changed my attitude on that, because there was a stretch of about a year where I stopped telling the story because I thought people were sick of it. But I got responses like, nope. People say, Rob, I've heard it 30 times and I love it every time. And then,
Yeah.
well, they love it, but they don't love what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. It's a good, it's hard to find the right way. It's a good story to tell under bad circumstances.
Yes.
And without getting too dark or too deep,
Yep.
you don't hear of stories like that. You only hear you seen a Bigfoot, it walked past, it went behind a tree, it threw some rocks, we heard some whooping or some tree knocks, and you don't get the in-depth detail like you've just told. And to cause that much trauma from it crying out or whatever it was that he was doing, to cause like the butterfly effect of what happened after that and everyone that it affected in the process.
Yeah, because I tell you what, I was definitely affected,
I, I,
and but another thing too, what to your point, people they'll either respond and on YouTube, or I'll get an email or something, where people are like, man, thanks so much, because now a lot of people that have had something happen to them, and it might not be as dramatic as mine, but now a lot of people are more open up,
yeah,
because I thought that people would judge me, think I was crazy, think I was lying. And now
yeah,
today I don't care about that, because I can
no,
tell you can't take that from me. I
no,
used to believe in Bigfoot, I will tell you that, but now I'm not. I'm a knower. I had an
yeah,
experience, dreadful experience. In fact, for a person having their first Bigfoot encounter, most of the time they're not bad. They're not that disruptive, because a lot of people, like you said, Andy, Bigfoot crossing the road. They seen a
yeah,
Bigfoot peek from behind a tree. I mean, I get a lot of reports like that every day. But that's just as important to report on those than it is to report on the bad.
yeah. So I just put this up from UFO Joe.
Oh, yeah. Thanks,
So
UFO Joe.
it's not the UFO Joe. This is UFO Joe of Sweden.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Sweden, hey. See, that's what I like coming on the show. You're tapping into all the countries.
yeah, it's cool. No, but like you said, respect is there for sharing it. And like I said before, you don't hear of that happening all the time. So I don't want to like go too deep into this with you, but do you really think, or not do you really think, do you believe that like the infrasound or whatever it was that this creature made was the main cause of everything that happened afterwards?
No, well, here's my thing. As again, back in 2018, not knowing anything about Bigfoot, not or any cryptid for that matter. Yes, back then I thought that, as I mentioned, she's such a frail. I don't want to say frail. She was in good shape, but she was just 109 pounds, man. So I'm
Like
thinking that
petite.
I'm thinking her insides got rumbled up or messed up.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I thought that for a long time. Now her mom says heart attack. I still don't buy that either. I mean, I guess it can happen. I'm now I do not think that Bigfoot or whatever I saw, because even today it's hard for me to say it was Bigfoot because it
Yeah.
looked like a kind of a Bigfoot, but then it turned into that demonic looking thing. So I don't even tell people 100% was Bigfoot because I will tell you honestly, I don't know what the hell it was really. I
So do you
assume
think
it was.
Yeah. Do you think it shapeshifted then?
Well, that's a friend of mine, a Native American friend of mine,
Yeah.
says it was a shapeshifter. But I've also had a person say to me that it was a Bigfoot. In fact, if you believe in that mind speak and telepathy, this
Yeah.
person I know has said has been trying to communicate with me telepathically, but I'm not letting him through. So that's another crazy thing. Now, I've never spoken with a Bigfoot. I mean, I think people talk to a lot of entities or beings. I think that through telepathy, you've heard of mind speak. People claim that all the time. And who am I to say they don't hear it? I got a story. Robin McCrae was on my show.
Yeah.
And she never really heard my story before. She could have, though. But I got to tell you what, during the middle of one of my shows, this is last year, during the middle of the show, she says, "Hey, Rob, Delano said he meant you no harm." And this is during the show. We're talking about whatever. And I said to Robin, I said, "Who the hell's Delano?" She goes, "Well, that's the Bigfoot you encountered back in 2018. He wanted me to tell you that he meant you no harm, but you were in the area where his children were. So we wanted to warn you to get out of there." And I'm like, okay, you heard my story. Now you're pulling my leg. This is exactly what I'm thinking. Because, you can find somebody hear their story and make stuff up. So I was skeptical, but it took me aback. I was shocked. But, and I do back Robin McCrae 100% believe her because she told me things about the property, or not the property, about the lake and some things that, like this red barn. I never mentioned anything about a red barn in my encounter story. Not at all. Never once. And she said that they came from behind the red barn. And Andy, I never, ever told anybody that ever, except I know that. I didn't think it was significant enough to bring out in the story. It was irrelevant.
Get that.
But I remember seeing it. It was a dilapidated old red barn sitting in the shoreline. She brought that up to me. So now with Robin, she's a great friend of mine now, and she talks to me about a lot of other things.
Yeah.
And so she says it's Bigfoot, but I still kind of, I even as much as I believe her and love her, I'm a little still on the fence because that's just me. That's just my, you have to be kind of skeptical, but to me, Bigfoot's Bigfoot, right? I mean,
well,
and when
that was the next question. Sorry, I didn't mean to butt in.
Go ahead.
But
I'm good.
With is Bigfoot what we all think Bigfoot is?
That's a great question. Here's my opinion. I've been doing this for 5 years now. I've interviewed many people. I go out doing some research. I think Bigfoot is a flesh and blood creature, but I also think that it's got paranormal abilities.
Yeah.
I believe that they do cloak. I believe they disappear. I believe that they can convert mass into energy and just travel. You hear the stories about Bigfoot travel 5 miles in 5 minutes. I believe they can go through portals and stuff like that. I believe that. Hell, you know what? Native Americans back from the 1800s believe in that. And back in the 1800s, nobody hoaxed stuff. Nobody made stuff up. Today, you get all sorts of hoaxers out there today. But I tell you what, I don't think that existed too much in the 1900s. I think the
Well,
stories are
even
truer then than now.
yeah, but even going back before that, before the settlers went over to the US, when it was just the natives that were there, these stories that go back hundreds of years past that about these Bigfoot type creatures. So you've not got all the buildings, the roads, all the complexes that are like modern day stuff. It was just like the grasslands, the rivers, lakes, that their own little settlements, and that was it.
Yes. And even going back further, everybody probably knows who Daniel Boone is. Daniel Boone claimed to have seen a Bigfoot, or they called it a wild man or a wild person.
Yeah,
Ran up to him, then ran up to him. He was in the back of a log. Daniel Boone, here's how the story goes. Fired a shot. I think he was shooting at a deer, but it ended
yeah.
up being a hairy man, and it ran at him. And right before the hairy man reached Daniel Boone, it disappeared. Boom.
Oh,
And then you hear stories that fit, from the United States. One of our presidents, back way before I was even born, 1930s, 1940s,
yeah,
Teddy Roosevelt. I mean, a lot of people probably heard of Theodore Roosevelt. He claimed to have a Bigfoot encounter
yes,
back then. So yeah, it goes way back in history. So how can you deny these things? But I happen to be a person that believes that they are not just flesh and blood. I also think they've got some innate ability that we just can't explain. I can't
yeah.
tell you for sure what it is, right?
So
I
do you
never,
think
I,
they? Sorry, go on.
no, I don't talk in facts. Anything I say is not fact. It's just what I've heard from people, right?
Yeah,
But you know what? These stories and this evidence that pops up, it's over and over and over again. It's always the same story. They all have the same connections, right? There's
yeah.
not 1,000 people telling the same stories, maybe different versions. People don't make this stuff up.
No,
Do people hoax? Yes,
yes,
but you can tell the BSer from a guy that's genuine. I mean, I can.
yeah. I'm getting there. So,
You know.
but I was going to say, see, Bigfoot possibility is on the evolution line. It took a different route than what humans did. It learned it. The evolution took a different road for them than what it did us.
I guess, I can't classify, I can't really answer that. I think, our evolution, if you believe in the evolution theory, yeah, I believe how we all evolved, right?
Yeah,
If you go by that science, I don't think Bigfoot's included in that. I think they were here well before man.
yeah,
I think they're, Robin's claims and her theory is that they're hybrid humans.
right.
So what does that mean exactly? I don't know.
Did they
I mean,
interbreed with humans? Were
yeah,
they forced genetically?
yeah, exactly. I'm not up on the science behind these things.
Yeah,
And I even hate to call them things, since I talk to so many people. A lot of people think they're an ancient human civilization or an ancient human race.
yeah,
And the more and more people I talk to, I have a guy coming on a show next week that he lives in the forest and he talks to these things every day, communicates with them like a
yeah,
socialized group. And I believe they are socialized um, beings.
yeah,
Some people call them forest people. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
uh, I had a sour start. I had a sour start in Bigfoot because I was negative about it. And so again, having a bad encounter to start my Bigfooting, as you say,
Yeah,
I just thought they were just some demonic creature, man. I don't
yeah,
believe that today, though. I really don't. There's too many other things that I've come across.
yeah. But like you said, when Robin did the like the connecting to the Bigfoot, she said that it was protecting its children.
Yes.
It's young, so
Yeah, but
it.
here's
I'm just gonna say it's crap that you was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
yeah, but here's the thing too. I do believe that Bigfoot or a lot of cryptids, I think they know what our intentions are.
Yeah,
Right. My intentions was just to show my girlfriend how to fish.
yeah,
I was not thinking about hunting. I wasn't packing any weapons. It was me with a bathing suit on, my girlfriend with a bikini on, with a fishing line, and, a couple sandwiches on the boat. Didn't even think,
yeah,
and we just want to go fish. So I didn't have any ill will for anything. In fact, back then Bigfoot was the last thing on my mind. I saw the Patterson Gimlin film from, I don't know if you in Britain, of In Search of. Leonard Nimoy did a show. When they showed the Patterson Gimlin film. So as a young boy, I should say, when I saw that, I'm like, wow, I was interested in Bigfoot for sure, and I thought they probably existed because I am open minded. I believe in UFOs. I believe in aliens, ghosts. I mean, I've seen ghosts and stuff like that. So yeah. So I always believed they were out there, but it didn't dawn on me until some 30 years later, man, I run into one or something that probably was. So that's the only thing I quibble with Robin on is I had no ill intent. But I do get it, Andy. It makes sense. I was around their young. They were protecting their young. They wanted to scare me and get me the hell out of there. So I do buy that.
Yeah.
It was just unfortunate, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Just before we go on a break, someone's just put in the chat to show you a picture that I've got. I was going to show you anyway and get your thoughts on it. It's not so much a Bigfoot. To be honest, I don't know what it is. But I've got these 3 pictures, the 3 negatives of it, and then I've got a zoomed in version.
Okay.
So you might have seen this before because it's from the UK, but it did the rounds in America. I got this last year with one of the guests that were on, but I'll tell you about that later. So this is the image. So this was on a farm in have you heard of Cannock Chase in the UK? It's in a place called Lichfield, Staffordshire.
Okay.
Then you've got that one.
Wow, it looks kind of like a dog man.
Yeah, and that one's like it's kind of phasing. But this second picture, I've got a zoomed in. I've got a zoomed in one of that. There.
I mean, that's like, see, here's the thing, or people are going to say, right? That looks too good to be real, don't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it looks like man, that's crazy looking.
But I've only just noticed something. So where you can see, well, they're not eyes, they're more like slits.
Yes.
Just below what would be its right eye, as we're looking, it's on the left-hand side. It looks like a large canine tooth coming up, like a wild boar has, like the horn. I don't know what you call it. You've muted.
So what I'm looking at here, then, what is it on the left, on the right arm, or on my left? You mean?
So the nearest side. The nearest side, looking at the photo, it looks like it's got some like saber tooth going up from the back of its mouth towards its eye.
I see that, but I think I see that.
Well,
but
I don't
really,
know if it is that.
But really, though, what's distinguishing to me is that head, that snout. I mean, you can definitely see a snout. You can see the eyes. You can see the ear. I mean, you can see the picture perfectly. I mean, that to me, I immediately thought dog man. And the thing that I'm saying, and all I'm saying is that I don't judge any photos and stuff like that. It just looks. I've never seen a picture that clear of anything.
No,
I really haven't.
But the more I look at this, the legs look like they've been drawn. So they look like they've been sketched. But that might just be the contrast of the picture.
Yeah.
Because this was taken from a trail cam. Some guy had some stuff going on his farm, so he set a trail cam up, and they were the 3 images that he got.
Yeah, wow. And if I'm not going to say it is or isn't, we were just at me and my friends, well, Tex and Jason, we were going over how CDI or CM, what is it?
CGI.
How you can easily, if you have any skills, you can hook stuff up.
I can do it, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So, and I'm not saying that either. I'm saying that. I'm saying, wow. Well, first of all, I think it's an amazing picture. I'll say that.
But you can even see like the muscle definition.
I do, man. Yeah, I was about to say I see the bicep.
But even like the ankle and the heel and the Achilles tendon and all that, and the way the foot bends at the front, you can't really see the back one because it's too too dark.
It's like shadowed out. I don't really see the
Yeah.
foot there, but man, once
But
you bring
then,
that back, once you replay that where it walked out, where it was smaller, really quick.
so
Yeah, so there it is. So there. Okay.
so you got that one. I'll show you the negatives of each one as well, just so that you
Okay.
can see it.
Yeah.
Then this is the original picture, the one that I zoomed in on. So you've got the full shadow and everything in that image,
No, yeah,
nothing blurred.
yeah,
So there's the negative on that one.
yeah.
And then this is the last one, which looks like it's shimmering or
Oh,
phasing
yeah.
or whatever you want to call it. But so it's left foot, the foot furthest away from us,
Yes.
to me is the only thing that's not blurred, but nothing else in that picture is blurred. So if you look at that light, that looks like a bar going across the top, say like 2 o'clock to the creature's head, that is exactly the same in the second, in that image, as to what it is in that.
Yeah.
But even its shadows blur it, and the grain and that trailer is all in focus.
Yeah, I mean,
And then you've got that. And
yeah, I mean,
then
I don't
back
know
to
what
that.
that is. I mean, I've never seen a dog man or anything, and it kind of looks like a wolf's. It does look like a dog's head to me of some sort. It's, the upper torso looks more dog manish to me, and in the hands, I think maybe the butt. But then again, there are dog men that are thinner than that too. I mean, a lot of everybody thinks they're all robust and like
Yeah,
those soldier dog men. I don't know. I think it's a great picture. I can't tell you for sure. I'd like
it
to have
look,
my buddy check it out who does this for
yeah,
a
yeah.
living. If you wanted to, it's up to you.
I'll
But
send them across to you.
yeah, that'd be cool. I'll have them look at it, let you know, because I don't know. The average person would say, "Oh no, that's too looks too good to be true." I'll tell you, it's one of the clearest pictures I've seen, and I like
Yeah,
the fact that the shadow blends in like that. But I'm no
yeah,
expert either, right? I mean, I've seen millions of pictures, and this
yeah,
is one of the clearest pictures I've ever seen.
yeah. But I think you'll know the person, or you'll know of the person who sent it
Okay.
me. But I'll tell you off air,
Yeah.
if that's all right. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No, that's fine. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
yeah. So that was sent, but it looks a bit woolly to me, like sheepy.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
No,
So
I mean we all. Yeah. I mean
everyone sees different.
it definitely
So
looks like something that's the first thought I had. And again, I've never seen one, but it looked like, let's put it to you this way, looked like some sort of cryptid.
yeah, yeah. I don't think it's someone in a suit.
Yeah, I mean,
But I
yeah,
might be
yeah,
wrong.
yeah, you never know. Pretty damn elaborate suit.
It's a lot. Someone going to a lot of trouble just to get a trail cam with free
Yeah.
imaging.
You're right about that. I mean, and especially if it's not been circulated into the public, there's people that try to, I mean, that's another thing. Why would you go through the time and energy to do something like that if you're not making any money on it? A lot of people want to make a
Yeah.
quick dollar. I mean, that's something that's not for sale. It's not like he's got it on Patreon. Hey, $20,
Oh
check
no.
out, Dog Man.
Well, from what I can remember, the guy whose farm it was, sent them images over to the guy in the US for him to have a look. And there's a couple of people that were viewing through him. And as far as I know, that's it. They've not been shown anywhere else.
Yeah.
So other than him sending to me, and when he was on as a guest, he was happy for me to show him and keep hold of him, and then talk about. I'm not going to diss him because I wasn't there. I don't know if it was real or not.
Yep.
It could be someone in it. It could be a kid. It might be smaller than what we think it is because you can't judge the distance because you've not got any full color. You've only got that brownie color and then the shadows, and that's it.
Yes.
So it's really difficult to.
It is difficult.
Get scale on it.
Yeah, scale, absolutely. That'd be good if you could just figure out the scale. But I tell you what, the shadow, though, that intrigues me.
Yeah, because you can see. I'll just put it up quickly again. You can see, obviously, there's a light coming from the back of it. Sorry, on this one.
Okay.
Where the shadows cast.
Yeah.
So the shadows coming from the left because of the angle that it's going at.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, man, that's something. I
But
mean,
there's no tail. I don't. There's no tail. There's
well,
no
yeah,
shadow tail.
I've
There's.
never heard of a dog man with a tail. To be honest with you, I don't know if they've got a tail or not.
I was just presuming you have a tail because,
it just,
because it's a dog man.
I've talked to about 20 people who've had dog man encounters, and they never
Yeah.
once even mentioned a tail.
Right.
So who knows? You think dog, you automatically think tail.
Well,
But
yeah.
what dog? But I don't know.
No, me neither. Not got a clue.
No clue
I
either.
just show it and give my
Yeah,
opinion. And next time you show that, I'll have a different opinion.
yeah, for sure. I can only speak on what I've seen, right, and what other
Yeah.
people tell me. So yeah. I mean, I think it's a cool picture. I think it's fascinating. I like to have somebody really take a deep dive that you can trust. You know what I mean? Because I can understand
Yeah.
why you wouldn't want to put your name behind that because
No.
right away people will say, "Oh yeah, right, whatever."
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Definitely.
think
That's why.
different. But I have an open mind. I don't know.
Yeah. Same, mate. That's why I don't claim other than I was sent that photo by
Yep.
somebody else. So, and
Hmm.
that's it. Right. Should we go for a 5-minute break?
Yeah, we could do that. That'd be
We
cool.
can get started and then we'll get back on. We've got a few
Okay.
questions.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine. Yeah, I'm open to that. Perfect timing. My dog wants to go out anyway. So,
yeah. All right,
all
then.
right, cool. 5 minutes.
Right, guys. See you in 5. Yeah, there's a 10-second countdown. So, right at the end. So,
Okay.
once you hear
Oh,
that, just leg
okay.
it back.
All right.
All
Thanks.
right. Cheers,
All
cheers
right.
Rob. See you in a minute.
Cheers. All right.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And we are back, but Rob isn't. Sorry, 1 second. He has vanished. For some reason, he's been disconnected. 1 sec. Yes, Joe, I've got it. Right, just bear with me while Rob comes back on. Hopefully, it won't be too long. Right. Oh, he's rebooting. So, right, I'll just tell you what I've got. Oh, he's back. I'll tell you later. Here we go.
Yeah, I was. Oh, I got disconnected somehow.
Yeah, it was showing you there at the bottom, but I couldn't re-add you.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're back now, so it's all good.
We're good to go.
Dog started?
Dog's good. He go. I let him out. He goes. I said, "Come on, hurry up. Go to the bathroom."
Perfect. Right, we've got a few questions. Do you want to do them? Because I know you've got to go in like 25 minutes.
Yeah, I got to pick up my niece. She's got a broken down car. It's been in the shop for several days, and her mom and dad are in Vegas.
Yeah, I've got to take my car in tomorrow. So
yeah,
it's not a lot, but it's taking it in.
Daily life, man. So.
Yep. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take questions for sure.
Yeah. So I'll start
again. I did want to take the time to thank you for having me on. Thank you to everybody out in chat. Glad to be talking to your awesome UK audience. If you guys just do me a favor, subscribe to my channel, it'd be great. It's something for everybody. I know you're a paranormal show, but I got paranormal stuff.
I'm kind of moving away from the paranormal.
Doing everything okay, yeah, because
I'm moving more to cryptids and UFO and
good, yeah, that's right up my alley.
Aries, and that's why I changed the name, because the original name was Codes of the Paranormal, but I never liked the name Paranormal.
Yeah, the thing, Bigfoot, and with Bigfoot, Michigan Rob, I said, man, I don't want to be subject to just Bigfoot talk.
Yeah.
Because I do more than just that, right? We do everything. But now that I've been doing this for a couple of years, people get it. So, yeah, we talk about everything. So,
yeah. So that's why I changed it to Andy D Codes, because of the codes of the unknown, codes of the paranormal, and then the D codes debunk.
Pretty clever. I like it.
My own words. Yeah. Wasn't all my idea. Can't take full credit for it. But now it's that. I'm just keeping it at that. So.
Adam Sandar says we never liked the name, Andy.
So what's he put?
Some guy named Adam Sandor. We never liked the name, Andy. So I guess he's glad you changed it.
Yeah. Unless he doesn't like the name Andy.
Oh, maybe.
No, Adams, he's from the UK, but he lives over in I'm going to say Slovakia, but I'm not sure. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's why I stuck with the codes bit, and that kind of works.
Very good.
Right.
Oh, thank you to my stalker. She's putting out my link in my Twitter. Cool. Thanks, JoJo.
Oh, I'll pop that up. So then people can go back on it and pause it and
I'm not on Twitter too often, but yeah, that's cool, But yeah, there you go.
So right, I'm just looking at the if I put them up for like 3 or 4 seconds each, and then
we can go through the questions.
I will do the questions. Right. So that's your Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right, that's enough.
Thanks for that, JoJo.
Right. So first question is going back to the Bigfoot sighting that you had the day you was out fishing. And this is from Alien Woods, and they would like to know eye color if seen.
Okay, when it looked like the humanoid and when it looked like the Down syndrome, the eyes were like shaped like like what a diamond, like the ace of diamonds, a diamond. So if you take the diamonds and you reverse them and you put them, turn them, it kind of looked like that. and then it kind of was like whitish, opaque color. But as I said, when it did that metamorphosis into that other unknown being, they just rolled back black, and all it was jet black in his eye socket. It was just nothing but
Ooh.
black. So that's why I immediately thought demon.
Do you think then? It's a quick question. Do you think it could have been possessed, taken over, or something?
Yeah, well, we mentioned shapeshifter earlier. Again,
Yeah.
one of my Native American friends thought it was a shapeshifter. When I associate black eyes, I only associate that with evil, right?
Yeah.
Um, was it possessed by a demon? I don't know. And if it was, I consider myself lucky, that nothing, well, at the time. But then again, I'm not lucky because, my girlfriend, I don't blame it on it. I'm just saying it still brings up, it's a sour, it leaves a sour note in my mouth. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I appreciate
But
that.
I will say this really quickly before I answer the question. Ever since I've always seen things as a kid growing up, I had ghost encounters at my bar. I've had ghost encounters in my house. But after I had this sighting, I was this is several months after my sighting. Really quickly, I was in my living room watching a television program. And actually, it was in another section, not the living room, but it was a section where my big screen TV is, and there's a hallway. And I was sitting in a chair, man, and I was watching some show. I think it was a scary show. So I'm watching television and creeping down the hallway, and I seen this mist hovering about 6 inches above the ground, coming down, rolling down my hallway. Now, this part of the house, in back of that area is where my furnace is. I'm like, holy crap. Is my furnace smoking?
Fire.
Yeah. So I get up out of the chair and I run toward that mist coming down the hallway.
Yeah.
And then when I hit the mist, it disappeared. It dissipated. I went back, checked out my furnace. Furnace is running. So I'm like, oh, wow, what the hell was that? Was I dreaming? I'm thinking I was dreaming. Now I'm thinking in my mind, I'm dreaming. That did not happen. So I go back, I sit down in my chair, I'm watching TV. It starts rolling down the hallway again.
So what color is this mist?
It's like a grayish mist. It's like a grayish,
smoke.
Like smoke, right? It's transparent. It's not solid. So now I see this and I get scared because much like how I got paralyzed when Cindy fell off the boat, I now try to get up again, but now I can't move. I can't move anything. I can't move my legs or my arms. And I can move my eyes around. And now it gets around and starts swirling around my chair that I'm sitting in, swirling around my chair. And I got very scared. I know I'm awake, though. That's a weird thing. I know I'm awake because I'm still looking at the TV. And then this went on. And then I told this to Barry Littleton. And I asked him, hey, Barry, man, was that sleep paralysis? He goes, man, I don't think it was. And I'll go on further. So it eventually went away. It happened. Then it went away. Then 6 months later, the same scenario happens. Well, Barry had told me, hey, Rob, man, if you believe in God, I go, well, yeah, I do. I'm not a churchgoer. I'm spiritual more than a religion. I believe in God. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. So this happened like 6 months later, and this started happening in the same room. I got paralyzed again. I seen this, and I said, I started saying the Our Father prayer. Yeah. As soon as I did that, it went right away, which suggests to me that this was some sort of demonic force. Which now I'm thinking, man, was that thing that I seen at Lake Cadillac? Was that like a demon? And maybe something rubbed off or got attached to me, per se.
Possibly.
So now it hasn't happened in like over a year now. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was a freaky thing that happened to me. And that was a couple years after my Bigfoot encounter.
Right.
So I really can't explain that one, man.
Yeah. This might be, I don't know if it's a stupid question or not. I don't think any question is stupid. But when it sent that scream, or whatever, do you think there could have been something in that that was sent over? Because you said you could feel it.
Oh yeah, I
In your
felt.
bone. Could
I
there have been
felt.
something inside that's attached to you,
Well, I will tell you
or
this.
you brought back with you?
Well, I will tell you this, man. I felt it hit me, and I actually stumbled backward. Of course, I'm
Yeah.
200 pounds, but my girl, 109
Yeah.
pounds. I mean, what it hit me with, I can see how she fell off the boat. We got flipped out.
Yeah.
Me, I stumbled back several inches at least, and I got hit, and I could feel it, and I could feel it hit my
Yeah.
body.
Wow.
Yep.
So there could have been
Was
something
that
in
was
that.
that was it something demonic
Was it
that
sending
hit
something
me?
out?
Now, of course, I don't think I'm possessed or anything like that. Again, it
Oh
hasn't happened
no.
in a very long time, but I wonder about that. To this day, I wonder. And people suggest that it was maybe just sleep paralysis. I don't really know what that is. I know that sleep paralysis can be something where you're awake, but you're in this dream state, very
Yeah.
lucid.
But sorry,
But this seemed too real to me.
if you was awake, then
I
surely that'd be
was,
wake. That'd be wake paralysis.
yeah, I never heard of that term before, but
Well, no,
I
I was
just,
just thinking. But if you're awake and you can't move,
yeah, well, I certainly was awake. It was much like when I was awake when we seen the Bigfoot, right?
yeah,
Because when I saw the Bigfoot, I couldn't move either. And then when this thing started twisting around my chair, or even prior to that, when it's coming down the hallway, I like the first time I could get up and it went away. Second time it happened, I couldn't move or nothing. Now someone suggested it could have been UFO or an alien. I don't know. Not a
could have been
UFO,
using a
an
yeah.
alien. You know.
It
Yeah.
could have been using a what do they call it? Fake. I can never remember the term. Like a mask.
I know where you're
can't
going
think.
with I know. I think I know where you're going with this. Yeah, with your what you're trying to come up with. Uh,
Oh, someone in the chat must know. Come on, help us out. As soon
um.
as he hear it, he's like, "Yeah, that's it." I just cannot think.
Well, I tell you this. I think maybe this text things. You know, my partner Tex. We were talking.
Yeah,
We always talk about this, and he's a researcher in Texas, and he goes to Oklahoma a lot in a place called Brown Springs. And he has spoken about he's starting to think now because he's seen two dog men and he has seen
yeah.
Bigfoot, but he also researches in a cemetery. Okay.
Ah,
And the cemetery is a known dumping ground for the mob. It's a very evil place. There's a lot of murders have taken place there, rapes, just terrible, terrible things have happened.
yeah,
And he's thinking that sometimes these are playing games like they're tricksters. They're trying to trick him into thinking what
yeah,
he's looking at his Bigfoot, when in fact it might be some sort of nefarious demonic activity.
yeah.
So I don't associate Bigfoot necessarily with demons, but I don't know enough to say yes or no. It's another thing that makes this whole subject matter, Andy, is there's so many avenues you can go. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no right or wrong answers with anything. That's
Well,
why I
no,
love doing this, man, because we're all seeking answers.
yeah. It's called a fake something screen, false screen. When you see something, but you don't see what it actually is.
Yes, I
I,
understand that.
yeah,
You think you're seeing something, but it's not really what you're seeing. It's something
yeah,
else, something
yeah,
masquerading as something,
yeah. It's like a
and
projection of something else.
it's
Like a
projecting to be this, but it's really something else.
yeah,
It's kind of like they like to say, like I said, Tex says those tricksters tricking you
yeah,
into something to believe
yeah.
when in
Making you
fact,
believe. Yeah, screen memory. That's it.
okay, screen memory. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Got there in the end.
Yeah, well, hey,
Yeah, but yeah. The thing is, you don't know if what you're seeing is real or not.
yeah. Well, in my basement, I don't know
So,
what the hell that was. I know what I saw in the lake was real. Whatever it
yeah,
was, the question.
yeah.
Yep.
No, No, appreciate that. Thank you. Right. Next question then. This is from Nellie Kelly. Guessing we're talking about Bigfoot again. Are they possibly part of the missing link in evolution?
I mean, anything's possible, right, Nelly? I don't know. Again, like I said earlier, I don't think they're part of our evolution as human beings or the missing link. I think that they are a separate entity altogether. And I
Yeah.
don't believe in the ape theory, as far as for them or even for us. I mean, I believe we were created by the higher power, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. I think they are separate. I think they were here well before we were, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been here for thousands of years.
Yeah. But
Were they even put here? I mean, I talk to people like on the
oh,
show, like I told you, I talk to people all the time, and some people, I don't know that I buy this, but some people say they were placed here by aliens.
well, that was the next question because there's been a lot of encounters where there's been a Bigfoot sighting and there's been a UFO
Oh
present
yeah,
around
I
about the
had,
same time.
I believe that. I had a guy on yesterday, Carter Bouchard, was on a show last night, and it's funny
Yeah.
that you take all these reports where there'll be a UFO sighting in the air, then in the sky, and then all of a sudden a Bigfoot appears, or you're in the woods and you see all these orbs
Yeah.
floating about in the woods, and then they disappear. Then all of a sudden, a Bigfoot manifests from behind a tree. I think
Yeah.
my theory is this: I think everything's connected. I think cryptids, aliens, the UFO phenomena.
Yeah.
I think it's all comes together. I think they're all tied in. I think they're all tied together somehow.
Have you
And
any
that's kind
idea
of
what the connection is?
no, I don't. That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's why this subject matter we're discussing is just so out of literally out of the world,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
literally, man.
Oh, yeah. You couldn't get any more, could you, really?
I mean, you pick a subject to talk about, it has to be this, where you just
Yeah.
have no answers. But it's
Yeah.
exciting, right?
I think it's exciting because we don't have the answers. We have
Yeah.
some ideas, but we don't have any substantial proof or evidence that what everyone is saying
Yes.
is actual fact.
Yeah,
So
right. But I do think the Patterson Gimlin film is enough evidence that they exist. I mean, of course, I've
yeah,
seen one. I know they exist. I mean, something exists. And
yeah,
I think, everyone tries to debunk that film, but no, that's the real deal. That's the
yeah.
real deal.
I believe that's real. I've
Yeah.
never doubted that it's faked. If people tell me it's fake, then that's their opinion. But
Yeah.
me personally, I believe that that's a real,
Yeah.
genuine footage. It's not a person in a suit. It's not this,
No.
that, and the other. I believe it's some
Yep.
human ape type creature.
Yep. Yep.
So, right. Next question then, because we are pushing for time now.
Sure.
This is from Nickname. What visual evidence has Rob seen not out to the public?
Oh, well, I've seen quite a few photos. Again, I've had a lot of guests on. They have photos that I never some I put on the show that looks like things. If you watch any of the shows, I'll do some slides and put things out. But
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
it's all your opinion, right? I'll
yeah,
never say it is or isn't because I don't know. And half the pictures that I've gotten, like most of you heard of the blob squatch, and it's always a pixelated image. It's something that has the shape of a Bigfoot or some sort of cryptid, but you really
yeah,
can't make it out. And I can't say either yes or no. I've never seen a picture, like a distinct picture. It's always something that screws it up. And a lot of
yeah,
people suggest those because of the energy that they give off, that the energy just pixelates pictures
yeah,
and it screws up. Every time I talk to a lot of researchers in the area, again, it's another thing about this mass and this energy and the quantum theory. I had Ron Moorhead on the show, and he believes that they do that. It's done on purpose. You can't get a good picture because it's deliberately done,
yeah,
and you can't capture it.
yeah. Nickname just put any of which resemble your sighting.
Never seen one that resembles mine. Now I have a guy coming on that had an encounter very similar to what mine was as far as the metamorphosis part. So I'm very excited to have this guy on. I think he's gonna be on May 14th or sometime in May. A guy had an encounter where this thing had a flat face, and I looked at this guy, but the face was like flat, but all of a sudden it kind of three-dimensionally popped out at him and
Oh,
got like
right.
longer. Yeah. So I'm interested in that show. That's coming up in a
That's
couple
it. That's
weeks.
similar to what you had then, isn't it?
It's similar, yeah. So I'm excited to talk to this guy.
Right. Got 5 more questions. Are we
Yeah,
good?
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't want to keep you because I know
Yeah,
you've got to go. And this is from Warren Hardcastle. What is Rob's view on giants, both the mound culture and those that might be still around today?
yeah. I believe the giants existed. My buddy Duke Sullivan, he believes they exist, and they have. The funny thing is, if you remember years ago, that big skeleton of a giant was found, I think somewhere in might have been the Middle East. The artifacts were sent to the Smithsonian Institute, and
Yeah.
they vanish. This everything that goes to the Smithsonian seems to
Oh,
vanish.
everything
I do
vanishes.
I do believe in the story of the Kandahar giant that armed forces went in to kill. I
Yes.
think Jessica Jones did a remote view on that.
Yeah. She was
According
telling
to
me
her,
about that.
that happened. So yeah, I believe giants. Yeah, I do believe that they existed. Do they exist today? I don't know, but I certainly think they did exist at one time.
Yeah. Because that
And
that
they
that
might even
one wasn't that
exist.
long ago, was it?
Now that was what I don't
Like
know.
late 90s, early
Yeah, it
2000s?
was during that war back then, the Gulf War.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, mid to late 90s, I think.
yeah, yeah.
But then
So yeah,
that's just one. How many more are there, if any?
if there's one, there's many more.
Yeah,
Just like Bigfoot, if you see a Bigfoot, there's more than one around because they look out for each other. They travel,
yeah,
I think, in groups.
yeah. No, thank you for that. Next question again is from Warren. What is Rob's view on the 411 cases, and does he feel there is a link to Bigfoot and or Dogman?
Yeah, when it comes to 411, I think it's the disappearances, right? I don't believe it on any one thing. I think there could be Bigfoot could be involved, Dogman could be involved. I believe human beings are involved. I believe that aliens could be involved. I believe
Yeah,
just in people in general just get lost, never to be found. So
yeah,
I think it encompasses everything. These disappearances is just not one thing. And I
no,
think it's unfair for people to say, Bigfoot's responsible for 411. Maybe in some cases they are, but I also
yeah.
think it's the human element, a
It's a
paranormal element.
bit of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not one thing.
no,
My
totally
opinion, of
agree.
course, but
I totally agree. I was having that conversation the other day, and probably reeled off about 10 different things, possibilities what it could be.
yep,
So a lot of them are what you just said anyway. So
yep, yep.
it makes sense. Right. Next question is from Baby with a Laser. He'd like to know, does Rob think CERN has played a part in all this ramping up of cryptid sightings?
I think it ramps up everything from cryptids to the paranormal.
Yeah.
I think that it's strange that, and it seems to me now. I don't know. Jessica was telling me that ever since with the inception of CERN, it does seem like a lot of more stranger things have happened, or at least being reported.
Yeah.
Again, I think that's a part of it too.
Yeah. There seems to be more. I was listening to something the other day. I'd have to go back and find it. But to do with the Mandela effect, there's a lot more. They're saying that there's more dimensions now that are crossing over from different man. I can't remember what it was. I knew I should have wrote it down.
Well, I think that has opened up a lot of dimensions. We talked about with Barry. We were talking about the various dimensions and the different realms and realities that are open
Yeah.
today. And I believe I subscribe to that theory, and I do believe the CERN
Yeah.
is a part of that as well. It has to be.
Oh yeah, it's just crossovers, isn't it?
Yes.
Really.
Hmm.
So you get them in everyday life. So why not get it in what dimensions, atmospheres, whatever you want to call it?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
did a show on that too, and we've done it all. It's very cool. And
Yeah.
Jessica's got a lot of her channel too, Cryptid Hunters. Check her out too because she's got a lot of
Yeah.
great stuff on her show.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Hmm.
Right. Two more questions. This is
Yes.
from UFO Joe. Could it be that it's only demonic if you have a troubled past? I won't say it is. I've only ever had positive experiences.
I don't think so. I mean, my past has never been trouble myself.
Yeah.
I've had a pretty good life. I mean, I'm not an evil guy. I've never had. I mean, that Bigfoot thing happened, and it wouldn't have been troubling had my girlfriend died. But again, I don't think that had nothing to do with it. I think though that here's the thing: if you get yourself, if you do what we do today, now I've been doing this a long time. If you investigate cryptids, if you investigate ghosts or demonology, you
Yeah.
open yourself to this stuff. You do,
Yeah.
whether you're a good or bad person. You expose yourself, and you have to
Yeah.
learn how to protect yourself. Yeah, I mean, there are things I never subscribe to this theory, but if you're late at night and you're watching some voodoo channel and there's chants going on. I'm talking about regular TV, everybody, and there are
Yeah.
chants summoning the devil, and that's broadcast in your home. You're opening it up to that. I don't care what you tell me, and I know people for a fact that believe that to be true. Jessica's being one of them, and she told me that if you investigate these things, and especially if you've experienced something, because I do believe this, if you've had an encounter with something that's out of this world, you are more apt to see them and have them again and again and again
Yes.
because you got that third eye is being open, right?
Yeah.
You're opening. If you've been into a different plane, they know who you are
Yeah.
and they know how to get to you.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a Hollywood movie, but no, I subscribe to that. A lot of your movies, man, were based
Well,
on things that people have seen and for real.
yeah. Well, I was going to say, obviously, where did Hollywood get their ideas from?
Mhm. Yeah,
It's got to be
you can look at
their
Star
events.
Wars, man. Star Wars. I talk a lot of those creatures from Star Wars came from somewhere. And like I say, you talk about myth. Everyone believes in myths are not true.
Yeah.
Well, those stories all came from somewhere. There's some truth to all of these things, to these stories from way back when.
Yeah. Definitely. Right. Last question. This is
Yeah.
from Joe. First time she's asked. Well, anyone's asked this. What question would you ask me?
I don't know, Andy. How'd you get involved in all this craziness? That's what everyone asks me. Why did you
Uh,
decide to start a show like this? Did you have an encounter yourself ever?
from the age of about 4,
You
and
did.
then from there on.
So, what was your encounter? Cryptid or paranormal or ghosts? Or
Um, it was. I'll get a picture quickly on my phone, and I'll show you if I can find it. Sorry, it won't be too long.
Mhm.
Ah, right, here we go. So I seen. So there's two like light beings there.
Oh wow,
I seen one of them. It was about probably
they
about
look
that
like
big.
figures.
So what? So
They
it's like one of them.
Yeah, they look like fairies.
So I was. Long story short, my mum
Yeah,
used to put me in her bed. She called me the human water bottle. So I'd put me there to warm the bed up. So I'd be sleeping in my parents' bed, and the
yeah,
bed was up against the wall. So I'd be sleeping with me back to the window,
yeah.
and then I'd be facing the wall. And do you know on the old record players, the turntable, and you listen with the
Yes,
vinyl, when
yes,
the light bounces off it, and then you see like a pattern dancing on the wall.
yeah.
So I was laying in bed, and this thing was about 3-4 inches, and
Okay.
I just lay there in bed, just watching it, and then I ended up waking up in my own bed because obviously my mum or my dad had picked me up
Yeah.
when they were coming to bed and stuck me in my home. So then I woke up the next morning. Then I had a UFO encounter when I was about 8 years old. That was one that Jess remote viewed for me,
Okay.
and I've got missing time and so on.
Oh, you know what
Uh,
missing time means? Alien
yeah,
abduction. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not going to use the word abduction because
Okay.
apparently
Alien
nothing.
encounter. Alien
Yeah, nothing.
encounter.
Nothing
You
happened
know,
to me. Nothing bad
yeah,
happened.
you didn't get. We'll hope you didn't get
I
probed.
wasn't probed. I definitely, even if I was, I wasn't.
Yeah. If you did, you would admit to it anyways.
Yeah. So so it was that. But after that, whenever I went to bed, I'd sleep right under the covers because it felt like there was, for some reason, I don't know what, there was Dracula, Frankenstein,
Yeah.
a zombie, like a ghost of some sort, and
Yeah.
then something else stood round my bed. I could feel
No
these
kidding.
beings stood round the bed, and I was too scared to come from under the covers.
Wow. That's
And
frightening.
that's how it started.
Yeah. Well, we gotta get into that in another show, man. I gotta have you on maybe my show.
Yeah, just give me a shout. I'll
Oh,
put you
I
there
got your.
for it.
Yeah, I have your information.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
really,
just
man, this is fantastic. I had a great time on this. I wish I could stay a
I'll
little
be
longer, but like I
it'd be
said,
great.
my niece is. I'm already going to be 5 minutes late. It looks like, but she can wait a little bit.
Is it worth it?
She'll make me buy her something at the mall.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, you know,
You'll be fine.
she's cool. I love her. I'll buy her something. She'll
Cool.
only be about. I'll be about 5 minutes late. No big deal.
Is
I
it
already.
fast
I
travel?
already. That's 15 minutes. She gets
Oh,
off
that's not
work.
too bad.
She gets off work at 5 o'clock my time, so it's
Right.
3:37. Takes me about 15 minutes to get there.
Yeah. Oh, that's not
So,
too bad then.
yeah, like I say,
Yeah.
but I had a
But
great.
no, yeah, definitely come back on. But I was going to say, would you come back on with any of the other guys? I know you do
Oh,
shows with them
well,
every
yeah,
week.
I was talking with Tex. Well, Tex works. Tex is like today is not good for Tex. He works. Tex works weird hours. He works. What is today? Tuesday
Friday.
or no? Yeah, Friday. Tex works. Tex works Tuesday through Saturday, so that's why he's able to do the Monday and Tuesday show
Right.
at night. Well, Tuesday for you, it's yeah. So
See what?
yeah,
You
so
can
it's
always do a
Friday.
pre-record if you fancied it.
Yeah,
But I
I know.
don't. I
Tex will
just
do
don't.
any. Tex needs Tex. Tex is up for anything.
Yeah.
Pre-records, whatever. We'll work something out. I'll get with Tex.
Yeah. I just don't like doing pre-records. I
I
prefer
don't
it
either. I
live
prefer a
and
live show. Live shows are more. You could you can see the
easier.
chat. You can see the chat people and stuff like that. And
And when
I
you mess up,
prefer.
you mess up. And
Yeah, big deal. I think
just
everybody likes
go
a
it.
live show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I never write anything. I take notes as I'm going.
I don't. None of my stuff scripted. The only things that I script maybe is when I get encounters from people that I do a pre-recorded video, which is
Yeah.
10 or 15, 20 minutes long about people's encounters that I put on my channel.
Oh, yeah.
Now
Yeah.
those I read. I kind of script them so they sound. A lot of people don't know how to write, so I got to kind of fix it when I
Yeah.
read it.
Yeah.
But other than that, live shows, I love them. I love both ways.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I just open my mouth. What comes out, comes out.
Yeah, right. That's
Good
what
luck,
makes it.
everyone.
We're all humans, man. We love it. We love live stream.
Yeah.
People love the live stream. So
Yeah. I definitely do this. I'd do this 8 days a week if I could.
yeah, well, I'm on. You can see my face 5 days a week typically. So
Yeah. So it's all good. We're all doing the same thing.
that's right.
So,
I
right.
want to thank all the new people in chat. If anybody subscribed, thank you for that. I'll check that out here in a few minutes before I go. Hint, hint. But Jojo, thanks for putting out my links. You're awesome.
Yeah, I'm just
Andy, man. I enjoyed this. I really. You got some cool people in your chat. I think they're all pretty cool. They have a lot of good questions and really cool comments. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you very much.
No, we appreciate you coming on. So it's all good. So I'm just starring some of the comments because what I do, I'll run them while we do the outro. So
okay,
that's it.
Cool.
Right. So we are going to wrap this up. because you've got to go, and I fancy an early night because I've got a 3-day weekend.
Very good.
So yeah, there we go. So thank you everyone in the chat for coming on. Thank you everyone again who's going to be listening to this on podcast. Please share it and follow and tell your friends. You can get on Spotify, Deezer, Apple, Stitcher, Castbox. The list goes on. TuneIn, I Love Heart, I think it is. Whatever podcast players are. So
I like it. Be cool. Thank you very much. And BMR's going to invade the UK. I want to get that UK market going. I got 2% Australia, you guys, and you guys are 1.8%. So you guys want to beat those Aussies?
We'll ramp that up for you. Not a problem.
Okay, thanks.
Anyhow, just give me a shout.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
All right. So
thanks, everybody.
Everyone. Oh, just before you go, so we've got Barry Littleton on Wednesday, and quick check for Friday is Chris Reinhardt.
Chris, awesome. You got a great guest there.
Yeah. Well, I had a phone call with him last night, and he was. I'll just tell you quickly because I'm not. We was talking about the stuff that's going on at his house, quite literally at the moment.
Yes.
He was that excited. He was pacing up and down because he really wants to talk about it and get it out there.
Yeah. Well, and really briefly about that's gonna be a great show. He's the guy that was totally 100% flesh and blood, but now he's had a flip. Now he's all paranormal because what he has seen is going to have. This will be great. It should be a good show for you, man.
The stuff that he's got happening now, because he's up in Connecticut, up near the mountains.
Yeah,
but he was down in Florida with the Everglades. And the same thing that's happening down there.
Yes,
is happening in his back garden. All I'm going to say is something left him a leg from a coyote.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh yeah.
So I'll leave that spoiler there, or teaser, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, you hooked them. I'm gonna watch that one. I've seen it before, but it's very cool. It's gonna be a great show. Yep.
Yeah. Right. I shall let you go. I'm not going to keep you any longer. Thanks again for coming on. I will be in touch for you to come back on with Jason and is it Dan and
we got Texas. Tex and Jason. We're pretty much the main guys, but whatever.
We'll sort something out anyway.
We'll figure something out. Yep.
Yeah. Right. You take care, Rob. I'll let you go, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Have a great weekend, everyone, and speak to you all soon. Goodbye.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.